When in leadership, it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking you have to know everything. At some point along the way, you may have found yourself being promoted to a leadership position based solely on your expertise in a particular area. Now, you feel you have to continue knowing everything in order to be justified in your leadership role. The fact is, your talent in a particular area makes you just that, talented. It doesn't necessarily make you a good leader. In fact, if you're bent on being the smartest one in the room and getting credit for every good idea, you're going to end up having to learn some extremely difficult lessons that could have been avoided. But if you're willing to pay attention to good advice, you may be able to let someone else take the depreciation on some of those difficult lessons. For example, if you go to a car lot to buy a new vehicle, you're going to pay new car price. But as soon as you drive it off the lot, its value drops significantly. You likely will not be able to recoup anywhere close to the purchase price if you decide to sell it. But if you buy a vehicle that's been slightly used from the first owner, they've taken the depreciation for you. You've still got a great vehicle that you can likely sell the next day for what you paid for it. It's the same with leadership. There are many great leaders that have learned some tough lessons along the way. Wouldn't you want to seek out and listen to their advice on those matters so you can avoid making the same mistakes they made? It's simply crazy not to. But pride will often trick you into thinking you don't need help from anyone. Sooner or later, your desire for recognition and fame will likely culminate in a spectacular crash and burn, a disaster that could have been avoided by simply being a good asker and a good listener. Maybe the reason you're failing at leadership is that you're stuck here in number 2, failing to seek out and heed wise counsel. So here's a practical next step. I want to encourage you to think of someone that knows more than you about something. Ask this person to meet you for coffee or for a meal, and you foot the bill. It's a small price to pay for great advice. Leave your phone in the vehicle and spend time asking that person questions and really paying attention to their answers. Take notes the old-fashioned way with pen and paper. If you'll do this simple step and repeat it often with other wise people, you'll be amazed how much you'll learn by simply asking and listening. So in closing, have mentors, ask them questions, listen to their answers, and heed their advice. In doing so, you'll save yourself from many hardships. This is something that I put into practice myself, and I know that sometimes it's hard to know exactly what questions to ask. That's why I have a list of questions that I want to provide to you as a resource to help you practice being teachable so that you can learn invaluable lessons to take your leadership to the next level. Click the link below to access this resource, and we'll see you in video 3.